Hi, I'm Bernard Joy. I'm one of the team at Franciscan Community of Our Lady of Compassion. I'd like to talk about spirituality because for me that is something that the church lost many years ago. And although people like Thomas Merton tried to reacquaint us during the last century, it hasn't made very much of an impact on what I suppose I would call an institutional church, or a head-centred church, which most of it is, unfortunately. Now, I would want to say that to be spiritual is to be both a mystic, which is a lover of creation and God, and a prophet, a warrior for peace and for justice. Now, any spiritual leader needs to be able to grow in these two areas. And any schooling in spirituality and leadership needs to assist us all in deepening both of these two very different energies into our life. Matthew Fox, in his book from about 1972, I think, laid out these two directions with their distinctive energies as the most foundational meaning of prayer. He defined prayer as a radical response to life. Well, Francis was definitely someone who filled the roles of mystic and prophet in his own time. But how about us? Karl Rahner, many years before Fox wrote that book, had already said that the Christian of the future will be a mystic, a prophet, or else he or she will not exist at all. Einstein told us that we cannot solve the problems out of the same mindset with which we created them. And I would call that human-centered consciousness, from which we have created the eco-catastrophe and the often lame religious consciousness of our time. It's time now for us to reclaim pre-modern wisdom, spiritual wisdom, in these troubled postmodern times. And Francis has plenty to offer us. Aquinas also named both the mystical and prophetic dimensions of our deeper lives. He defined them as our roots. And we are called to root ourselves in the goodness of life and creation and mysticism, and to uproot justice wherever it's to be found. That's the prophecy. The first response is our big yes to life. The second, a very big no to the violence and the injustice which oppresses us all and crushes all life. The injustice that the prophets and Jesus railed against, but which is still with us today. As the institutional church speaks mostly about pie in the sky, while looking the other way and presenting faith in a series of head-centered concepts which take us nowhere. Francis was a mystic. He was a prophet for his time, and he had an extremely radical faith. I hope that all of us might want to follow Francis and to go deeper into that spiritual life. And I hope we'll speak again, and that you enjoy our wonderful site where you can get really good conversations and some absolutely lovely people. You're one of them, probably. Thank you.